हाय फ्रेंड्स, माई सेल्फ आकृति। जैसे कि 2 चैप्टर्स हम ख़त्म कर चुके हैं, ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन एंड रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ। अगर आपने अभी तक नहीं देखी है उसकी एनसीईआरटी रीडिंग तो आप जाके देख सकते हैं। और आज हम अपना मेंडेलियन जेनेटिक्स स्टार्ट करेंगे। लेट्स स्टार्ट। ओके। जेम्स वॉटसन वॉज बोर्न इन शिकागो ऑन 6 April 1928. In 1947, he received BSc degree in zoology. During these years, his interest in bird watching had matured into a serious desire to learn genetics. This became possible when he received a fellowship for graduate study in zoology at Indiana University, Bloomington, where he received his PhD degree in 1950 on a study of the effect of hard X-rays on bacteriophage multiplication. He met Crick and discovered their common interest in solving the DNA structure. Their first serious effort was unsatisfactory. Their second effort, based upon more experimental evidence and better appreciation of the nucleic acid literature, resulted early in March 1953 in the proposal of the complementary double helical configuration. Francis Harry Compton Crick was born on 8 June 1916 at Northampton, England. He studied physics at University College, London, and obtained a BSc in 1937. He completed PhD in 1954 on a thesis entitled X-ray diffraction, polypeptide and protein. ओके, ठीक है। इनकी पीएचडी किस पे थी? जेम्स वॉटसन की हार्ड एक्सरेज ऑन बैक्टीरियोफाज मल्टीप्लिकेशन, और इनकी पीएचडी थी एक्सरे डिफ्रैक्शन, पॉलीपेप्टाइड एंड प्रोटीन्स पे। ओके। A critical influence in Crick's career was his friendship with J.D. Watson, then a young man of 23, leading in 1953 to the proposal of the double helical structure for DNA and the replication scheme. Crick was made an FRS in 1959. The honor to Watson and Crick include the John Collins Warren Prize of the Massachusetts General Hospital in 1959, the Lasker Award in 1960, the Research Corporation Prize in 1962, and above all, the Nobel Prize in 1962. ये important पैराग्राफ है, आपको इसको ध्यान में रखना है। ओके, एक सेकेंड। स्टार्टिंग द चैप्टर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस एंड वेरिएशन। आज हम क्या क्या पढ़ेंगे इसमें? मेंडल्स लॉज ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस, इनहेरिटेंस ऑफ वन जीन, two gene, sex determination, mutation, and genetic disorders. Let's start. Have you ever wondered why an elephant always gives birth only to a baby elephant and not some other animal? Or why a mango seed forms only a mango plant and not any other plant? Given that they do, are the offspring identical to their parents? Or do they show differences in some of their characteristics? Have you ever wondered why siblings sometimes look so similar to each other or sometimes even so different? These are several related questions are dealt with scientifically in a branch of biology known as genetics. This subject deals with this inheritance as well as the variation of characters from parents to offsprings. Inheritance is a process by which characters are passed on from parent to progeny. It is the basis of heredity. Variation is the degree by which progeny differs from the parents. Okay, you got the definition of variation and inheritance here. Humans knew from as early as 8000 to 1000 BC that one of the causes of variation was hidden in sexual reproduction. They exploited the variation that were naturally present in the wild population of plants and animals to selectively breed and select for organisms that possess desirable characters. For example, through artificial selection and domestication from ancestral wild cows, we have well known Indian breeds, Sahiwal cows in Punjab. We must, however, recognize that though our ancestors knew about the inheritance of characters and variation, they had very little idea about the scientific basis of these phenomena. Okay, Mendel's laws of inheritance. It was during the mid 19th century that headway was made in the understanding of inheritance. Gregor Mendel conducted hybridization experimental on garden peas for 7 years from 1856 to 1863. This is what is important. किस पे काम किया था उन्होंने? गार्डन पीस पे किया था। और कितने साल किया था? 7 सालों के लिए, फ्रॉम 1856 to 1863, and proposed the laws of inheritance in living organisms. During Mendel's investigation into inheritance patterns, it was for the first time that statistical analysis and mathematical logics were applied to problems in biology. ये पहली बार ऐसा हुआ था। ये चीज़ें पूछेंगे कि उनका फेलियर रेट क्यों था, क्योंकि उन्होंने पहली बार इस्तेमाल किया था तो बाकी साइंटिस्ट को एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे थे। दैट विल स्टडी अभी आगे, ठीक है। तो इन पॉइंट्स को आप ध्यान में रखते हुए चलिए। His experiments had a large sampling size which gave greater credibility to the data he collected. Also, the confirmation of his inferences from experiments on successive generations of his test plants proved that his results pointed to general rules of inheritance rather than being unsubstantiated ideas. Mendel investigated characters in the garden pea plant that were manifested at two opposing traits, example tall or dwarf plants, yellow or green seeds, etc. This allowed him to set up a basic framework of rules governing inheritance, which was expanded on by later scientists to account for all the diverse natural observations and complexity inherent in them. Okay. Mendel conducted such artificial pollination cross pollination experiments using several true breeding plants. A true breeding line is one that, having undergone a continuous self pollination, shows the stable trait inheritance and expression for several generations. Mendel selected 14 true breeding pea plant varieties as pairs which were similar except for one character with contrasting trait. Some of the contrasting traits selected were smooth or wrinkled seed, yellow or green seeds, inflated or constricted or yellow pods, and tall or dwarf plants. यहाँ आप देखेंगे कैरेक्टर्स क्या क्या मेंडल ने कैरेक्टर स्टडी किए थे, ये सब आपको ध्यान में रखना है क्योंकि इनमें से कौन सा नहीं किया था पूछ सकता है एग्जाम में, फिर आपको वो ऑप्शन टिक करना होगा. उन्होंने क्या क्या कंसिडर किया था, स्टेम हाइट, टॉल और डॉफ, ये डोमिनेंट है, ये रिसेसिव है. फ्लावर कलर, दिस इज डोमिनेंट, दिस इज रिसेसिव. फिर फ्लावर पोजीशन, एक्सिल एंड टर्मिनल. पॉड शेप, इन्फ्लेटेड ग्रीन. पॉड कलर, ग्रीन येलो. द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कि पॉड कलर जो होता है उसमें ग्रीन आपका डोमिनेंट है, येलो आपका रिसेसिव. वेयर एज सीड कलर की बात करें तो उसमें येलो आपका डोमिनेंट है एंड ग्रीन आपका रिसेसिव है. यू हैव टू कीप दिस इन माइंड. यहाँ पे यूजुअली एग्जामिनर आपको एक ट्रिक क्वेश्चन दे सकता है, आपको चीज़ें ध्यान में रखनी है. और है एक सीड शेप, राउंड एंड रिंकल्ड. ओके, इनहेरिटेंस ऑफ वन जीन. Let us take the example of one such hybridization experiment carried out by the Mendel, where he crossed tall and dwarf pea plants to study the inheritance of one gene. He collected the seeds produced as a result of this cross and grew them to generate plants of the first hybrid generation. This generation is also called the filial progeny or the F1. Mendel observed that all F1 progeny plants were tall, like one of its parents, none of were dwarf. He made similar observations for the other pairs of the traits. He found that the F1 always resembles either one of the parents and that the trait of the other parent was not seen in them. Okay. Mendel then self-pollinated the F1 plant and to his surprise found that in the filial 2 generation some of the offsprings were dwarf. The characters that was not seen in the F1 generation was now expressed. The proportion of the plants that were dwarf were 1/4 of the F2 plants, while 3/4 of the F2 plants were tall. The tall and dwarf traits were identical to their parental type and did not show any blending. ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है. क्या कहते हैं, the tall and dwarf traits were identical to their parental type and did not show any blending. That is, all the offsprings were either tall or dwarf. None were of in between heights. Okay. कोई ब्लेंडिंग नहीं होती है अलील्स में. वैसे आपका लॉ ऑफ सेग्रीगेशन है, जब आके पढ़ लेंगे. Similar results were obtained with other traits that he studied. Only one of the parental trait was expressed in F1 generation, while at the F2 stage, both the traits were expressed in the proportion 3:1. The contrasting traits did not show any blending at either F1 or F2 stage. ये आपको दिख रहा होगा. और यहाँ से ये मेल पेरेंट है जो वाइट फ्लावर्स हैं, ये फीमेल पेरेंट है जिसके पास ये क्या कहते हैं वॉयलेट है. दिस इज़ रिसेसिव, दिस इज़ डोमिनेंट. इसका पॉलिनेशन कराया गया. आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा होगा कि ये जो है इमैस्कुलेशन हो रहा है यहाँ पे, ताकि इसके स्टेमन से इसका पॉलिनेशन हो. ऑल्दो ये आपने सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स में देखा होगा इमैस्कुलेशन और बैगिंग क्या चीज़ होती है. जस्ट यहाँ पे दिया था तो मैंने आपको बता दिया. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. Based on these observations, Mendel proposed that something was being stably passed down unchanged from parents to offspring through the gametes over successive generations. He called these things as factors. Now we call them as genes. Okay. उस मेंडल ने जीन नहीं नाम रखा था, जीन का नाम बाद में पड़ा है. तो अगर आपका कभी उसमें है तो मेंडल हमेशा फैक्टर बोलता था. आपको ये टर्म भी ध्यान में रखनी है, ठीक है. ओके. जीन्स therefore are the units of inheritance. They contain the information that is required to express a particular trait in an organism. Genes which code for a pair of contrasting traits are known as alleles. That is, they are slightly different from the same gene. If we use alphabetical symbols for each gene, then the capital letter is used for the trait expressed at the F1 stage and the small alphabet for the other trait. For example, in case of the character of height, T is used for the tall trait, where small t is used for the dwarf, and T are alleles of each other. Hence, in plants, the pair of the alleles for height would be capital T, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Bender also proposed that in a true breeding, tall or dwarf wave variety, the allelic pair of genes for height are identical or homozygous, that is, capital T or small t, respectively. Capital T, and small t are called the genotype of the plant, while the descriptive terms tall and dwarf are the phenotypes. क्या आपका जो फिजिकल अपीयरेंस जो है टॉल है प्लांट या डॉर्फ है प्लांट, दैट इज कॉल्ड फेनोटाइप. जीनोटाइप मतलब आपके जीन में क्या है, जो आपका जेनेटिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन है, दैट इज कॉल्ड जीनोटाइप. वेल, इतना आपको पता ही होगा, मैंने बस ऐसे आपको रेफरेंस के लिए बता दिया. व्हाट देन वुड बी द फेनोटाइप ऑफ अ प्लांट दैट हैड अ जीनोटाइप टी? बताओ. ओके. As Mendel found the phenotype of the F1 heterozygote TT to be exactly like the capital T parent in appearance, he proposed that in a pair of dissimilar factors, one dominates the other, as in the F1, and hence is called the dominant factor, while the other factor is recessive. In this case, capital T is for tallness and dominant over the small t for dwarfness, that is recessive. He observed identical behavior for all the other character traits pairs that he studied. It is convenient and logical to use the capital and lower case of an alphabetical symbol to remember this concept of dominance and recessiveness. Do not use capital T for tall and small t for dwarf, because you will find it difficult to remember whether T or D are the alleles of the same gene or not. ठीक है. Alleles can be similar as in case of homozygotes, capital T and small t, or can be dissimilar as in the case of heterozygote, यानी कि capital T and small t. Since the capital T small t plant is heterozygous for genes controlling one character यानी कि height, it is monohybrid, and the cross between capital T small t is a monohybrid cross. जिसमें हम एक कैरेक्टर का क्रॉस करते हैं उसको मोनोहाइब्रिड क्रॉस कहते हैं. दो कैरेक्टर्स का करेंगे तो वो डाईहाइब्रिड क्रॉस हो जाएगा. इट्स जस्ट दैट सिंपल. ओके. From the observation that the recessive parental trait is expressed without any blending in F2 generation, we can infer that when the tall and dwarf plant produce gametes by the process of meiosis, the alleles of the parental pair separate or segregate from each other, and the only one allele is transmitted to a gamete. This segregation of alleles is a random process, so there is a 50% chance of a gamete containing either allele, as has been verified by the results of the crossings. In this way, the gamete of the tall capital T plants have the allele capital T, and the gamete of the dwarf small t plants have the allele small t. During fertilization of the two alleles, capital T from one parent, say through the pollen, and small t from the other parent, then through the egg, are united, produce zygotes that have one capital T allele and one small t allele. In other words, the hybrid have one capital T and one small t. Since these hybrids contain alleles which express contrasting traits, the plants are heterozygous. The production of gametes by the parents from the formation of the zygote, the F1 and F2 plants can be understood from a diagram called Punnett square. ये होता है आपका पुनेट स्क्वायर. आप यहाँ पे बताते हैं कि कौन कौन से गैमीट्स पॉसिबल है, और यहाँ पे रखते हैं कौन कौन से गैमीट बाय द आइदर पेरेंट्स. वन पेरेंट्स का यहाँ से, एक पेरेंट का यहाँ से, एंड देन यू क्रॉस इट लाइक दिस. ओके, वन सेकेंड. यहाँ से आप देख सकते हैं दीज आर द पेरेंट्स. ये इसका गैमीट है कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी. यू विल क्रॉस एक बार इससे, एक बार इससे, then एक बार इससे, and then from this. Okay, and so on. Okay. It was developed by a British geneticist Reginald C. Punnett. ये आपको ध्यान रखना है कहाँ का था. ब्रिटिश है वो. उसका नाम क्या है? रेजिनाल्ड सी पुनेट. तो आपको याद रह जाएगा. पुनेट स्क्वायर तो जब नाम ही है तो ओके. इट इज़ अ ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन टू कैलकुलेट द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ऑल पॉसिबल जीनोटाइप्स ऑफ ऑफस्प्रिंग in a genetic cross. The possible gametes are written on two sides, usually the top row and left column. All the possible combinations are represented in boxes below in the squares, which generate a square output from. The Punnett square shows the parental tall TT male and dwarf TT female plants, the gametes produced by them, and F1 TT capital T small t progeny. The F1 plants of genotype capital T small t are self-pollinated. The symbols फीमेल एंड मेल आर यूज टू डिनोट द फीमेल एंड द मेल. आपको पता ही होगा, ये तो आपने पढ़ा होगा. ये मेल होता है और ऐसे बनता है तो फीमेल होती है. ठीक है. The F1 plant of the genotype. ये ऐसे क्यों आ रहा है प्रिंट होके? ये तो इसमें वो हो रहा है. 1 second. Sorry guys. कंटिन्यू. शायद से डायग्राम यहाँ पे लिख के आ गया डायग्राम के नीचे वाली चीज़ें. छोड़ो, हम पढ़ते हैं. The F1 plant of the genotype, when self-pollinated, produce gametes of genotype capital T and small t in equal proportions. When fertilization takes place, the pollen grains of genotype capital T have a 50% chance to pollinate eggs of the genotype T as well as genotype small t. Also, pollen grains of genotype small t have a 50% chance of pollinating eggs of genotype capital T as well as of genotype small t. As a result of random fertilization, the resultant zygote can be of capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. From the Punnett square, it is easily seen that 1/4 of the random fertilization leads to capital T, 1 by 2 leads to the capital T, small t, and 1 by 4 lead to the small t, small t. Though the F1 have a genotype of capital T, small t, but when phenotypic characters are seen, is tall. At F2, 3/4 of the plants are tall, where some of them are capital T, while others are capital T and small t. Externally, it is not possible to distinguish between the plants with the genotype capital T, and capital T, small t. Hence, within the genotypic pair, capital T, small t, only one character with capital T tall is expressed. Hence, the character capital T tall is said to be dominated over the other allele small t or dwarf character. It is thus due to the dominance of one character over the other that all the F1 are tall, though the genotype is capital T and small t, and in F2, 3/4 of the plants are tall, though the genotypic of 1 by 2 are capital T and small t, and 1 by 4 are capital T, capital T. This leads to the phenotypic ratio of 3/4 tall, यानी कि 1/4 जो है वो capital T plus 1/2 capital T small t and 1/4 small t that leads to the ratio of 3:1. ये आपका phenotypic ratio है. But the genotypic ratio is 2:1. आपको क्रॉस नहीं आता, मैं आपको करके दिखा रही थी, बस उसकी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी नहीं क्योंकि ये तो आपको मैं बस ऐसे NCERT का वो दे रही हूँ. देखो ये पेरेंट हो गया, एक तुम्हारा डोमिनेट और एक तुम्हारा टॉल, एक तुम्हारा डॉफ. ये तुम्हारा ट्रू ब्रीडिंग है, ठीक है. अब इसकी जब हम वो कराएंगे तो इसमें क्या बनेगा क्रॉस. सॉरी यार, ये बन जाएगा इनका आपस में सबका. इसका इससे भी क्रॉस होगा, इसका इससे भी क्रॉस होगा, तो ठीक है. अब जब वापस से इसका क्रॉस होगा तो आपको क्या बनेगा. होमोजाइगस में एक ये बनेगा और फिर एक ये बनेगा और फिर एक ये बनेगा और एक आपको ये स्मॉल होगा. ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा मेस्ड अप हो गया, बट आगे सब समझ गए होंगे कैसे होती है क्रॉसिंग, ठीक है. चलो अब आगे चलते हैं. The 1/4:1/2:1/4 ratio of ये is mathematically condensable to the form of binomial expression ax plus by का whole square that has gametes bearing genes capital T or small t in equal frequency of 1/2. The expression is expanded as given below. अभी तुम देख लेना यार. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Mendel self-pollinated the F2 plants and found that the dwarf F2 plant continued to generate dwarf plants in F3 and F4 generations. He concluded that genotype of the dwarf was homozygous, यानी कि small t. What do you think he would have got had he self-pollinated at all F2 plant? वो तुम करके देख लेना क्या मिलेगा. From the preceding paragraphs, it is clear that though the genotypic ratios can be calculated using mathematical probability by simply looking at the phenotype of a dominant trait, it is not possible to know the genotypic composition. That is, for example, क्योंकि देखो genotypic कैसे पता चलेगा. जब तुम्हारा ये भी टॉल है और तुम्हारा ये भी टॉल है तो तुम phenotypic देख के कैसे बता दोगे कि इसका genotypic कौन सा है. तो उसके लिए हम अलग तरीका अपनाएंगे. तो तुम वो पढ़ो क्या होता है. That is, for example, whether a tall plant from F1 or F2 has TT or TT composition cannot be predicted. Therefore, to determine the genotype of a tall plant at F2, Mendel crossed the tall plant from F2 with a dwarf plant. This he called a test cross. Test cross में क्या करते हैं? In a typical test cross, an organism showing a dominant phenotype and whose genotype is to be determined is crossed with the recessive parent instead of self-crossing. The progenies of such a cross can easily be analyzed to predict the genotype of the test organism. ठीक है, figure 4.5 shows the result of the typical test cross where a violet color flower is dominant over the white color flower. देखते हैं, देखो ये होमोजाइगस रिसेसिव है और ये भी होमोजाइगस रिसेसिव है और ये रहा तुम्हारा डोमिनेंट फिनोटाइप. इसका जीनोटाइप नहीं पता है कि ये है कि ये है. अब पता करेंगे तो कैसे करेंगे, इसका क्रॉस करा देंगे इसके साथ. अगर इसका ये होगा कैपिटल डब्ल्यू यानी कि ये होमोजाइगस होगा, होमोजाइगस डोमिनेंट होगा, तो तुम्हारा सब जो है वॉयलेट फ्लावर आ जाएगा. बट अगर तुम्हारा ये क्या कहते हैं हेट्रोजाइगस होगा तो तुम्हारा 50:1 का रेशियो हो जाता है ना दोनों ही कैरेक्टर्स का, सॉलिड ऑफ का या मतलब कलर का, जो भी है तुम्हारा डोमिनेंट रिसेसिव का. ठीक है, चलो तो तुमको समझ में आ गया. अब देखो, based on his observations on monohybrid crosses, Mendel proposed two general rules to consolidate his understanding of inheritance in monohybrid cross. Today these rules are called the principles or the laws of inheritance. The first law is law of dominance and the second is law of segregation. Dominance क्या कहता है? Characters are controlled by discrete unit called factors. Factors pairs में होते हैं और एक dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair dominates over the other. यानी कि अब तुम देख के आए हो टॉलरेट ऑफ में, जो ये है वो डोमिनेट करेगा और ये जो है ये रिसेसिव ही रहेगा. ठीक है, यही बोल रहा है. हम देखते हैं. द लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस इज यूज्ड टू एक्सप्लेन द एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ ओनली वन ऑफ द पेरेंटल कैरेक्टर्स इन अ मोनोहाइब्रिड क्रॉस in the F1 and the expression of both in F2. It also explains the proportion of 3:1 obtained at the F2 generation. Law of segregation. This law is based on the fact that the alleles do not show any blending and that both the characters are recovered as such in the F2 generation, though one of these is not seen at the F1 stage. Though the parent contains two alleles during the gamete formation, the factor or allele of a pair segregate from each other such that a gamete receives only one of the two factors. Of course, a homozygous parent produces all gametes that are similar, while a heterozygous one produces two kinds of gametes, each having one allele with equal proportions. Incomplete dominance. When experiments on peas were repeated using other traits in other plants, it was found that sometimes the F1 had a phenotype that did not resemble either of the two parents and was in between the two. The inheritance of the flower color in the dog flower, snapdragon, or anthurium species is a good example to understand incomplete dominance. In a cross between true breeding red flower यानी कि capital R and true breeding white flower plant small r. The F1 capital R small r was pink. जो heterozygous होता है यहाँ पे वो पिंक हो जाते हैं या कोई in between कलर लेके आते हैं, इसको बोलते हैं incomplete dominance. When the F1 was self-pollinated, the F2 resulted in the following ratio. एक रेड बना तुम्हारा, दो पिंक बने तुम्हारे और एक जो तुम्हारा होता है वो वाइट बन गया. यानी कि तुम्हारा देखो होमोजाइगस है वो तो अपने पेरेंट्स का कैरेक्टर लेके आएगा, मतलब अगर वो तुम्हारा होमोजाइगस रिसेसिव है तो वो तुम्हारे रिसेसिव कलर कैरेक्टर लेके आएगा, जो तुम्हारा डोमिनेंट है डोमिनेंट लेके आएगा. लेकिन अगर हेट्रोजाइगस हो गया, जैसे कि हम अभी तक के देख रहे थे, जो हमारा कंप्लीट डोमिनेंस है, तुम लॉ ऑफ डोमिनेंस में भी तुम देख के आए टॉलरेट ऑफ में, कुछ तो हो नहीं रहा था ना कि एक लंबा है एक छोटा है और उसके बीच का कुछ एक मीडियोकर हाइट का हो गया, ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं हुआ था. यहाँ पे हो गया, एक रेड फ्लावर है एक वाइट फ्लावर है और अगर हेट्रोजाइगस हो गया तो गुलाबी हो गया, बीच का रंग आ गया. वही है यहाँ पे इनकम्प्लीट डोमिनेंस. इसमें क्या होता है, तुम्हारा जो एक कैरेक्टर होता है वो अपने आप को कम्प्लीटली एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाते हैं दोनों एक दूसरे के प्रेजेंस में, इसीलिए इसको इनकम्प्लीट डोमिनेंस कहते हैं. Here, the genotypic ratio were exactly as we would expect in any Mendelian monohybrid cross, but the phenotype ratios had changed from 3:1 dominant to recessive ratio. What happened was the R was not completely dominant over the small r, and this made it possible to distinguish heterozygous as the pink from the homozygous red and the homozygous recessive as white. ठीक है. Explanation of the concept of dominance. What exactly is dominance? Why are some alleles dominant and some recessive? To tackle these questions, we must understand what a gene does. Every gene, as you know by now, contains the information to express a particular trait. In a diploid organism, there are two copies of each gene, that is, as a pair of alleles. Now, these two alleles need not always be identical, as in heterozygote. One of them may be different due to some changes that it has undergone, about which you will read further on and in the next chapter, which modifies the information that particular allele contains. Let's take an example of a gene that contains information for producing an enzyme. Now there are two copies of this gene. the two allelic forms. Let us assume, as in more common, that the normal allele produces the normal enzyme that is needed for the transformation of a substrate S. Theoretically, the modified allele could be responsible for production of the normal or the less efficient enzyme, a non-functional enzyme, or no enzyme at all. In the first case, the modified allele is equivalent to the unmodified allele, that is, it will produce the same phenotype or trait that is result in the transformation of substrate S. Such equivalent allele pairs are very common, but if the allele produces a non-functional enzyme or no enzyme, the phenotype may be affected. The phenotype or trait will only be dependent on the functioning of the unmodified allele. The unmodified allele, which represents the original phenotype, is the dominant allele, and the modified allele is generally the recessive allele. Hence, in the example above, the recessive trait is seen due to the non-functional enzyme or because no enzyme is produced. Next, codominance. Till now, we were discussing crosses where the F1 resembled either of the two parents or was in between in codominance, but in the case of codominance, F1 generation resembles both parents. A good example is different type of RBC that determine ABO blood grouping in human beings. ABO blood groups are controlled by the gene I. The plasma membrane of the red blood cells has sugar polymers that protrude from its surface, and the kind of sugar is controlled by the gene. The gene I has three alleles, IA, IB, and small I. The alleles IA and IB produce a slightly different form of the sugar, while allele I, small I, does not produce any sugar. Because humans are diploid organisms, each person possesses any two of the three I gene alleles. IA and IB are completely dominant over small I. In other words, when IA and small I are present, only IA expresses because small I does not produce any sugar. And when IB and small I are present, IB expresses. But when IA and IB are present together, they both express their own type of sugar. This is because of codominance. Hence, RBC have both A and B of sugars. Type of sugars, okay. Since there are three different alleles, there are 6 different combinations of these 3 alleles that are possible, and therefore a total 6 different genotype of human ABO blood types. देखते हैं कौन कौन सा. अगर देखो एक पेरेंट के पास IA है और एक के पास IA है, तो तुम्हारा जीनोटाइप बनेगा IA यानी कि तुम्हारा जो ब्लड ग्रुप हो जाएगा वो तुम्हारा A हो जाएगा. अगर IA और IB प्रेजेंट है तो दोनों ही जीनोटाइप में और दोनों ही क्योंकि कोडोमिनेंस है तो AB ब्लड ग्रुप हो जाएगा. अब I और I प्रेजेंट है तो यहाँ पे तुम्हारा A डोमिनेट करेगा तो तुम्हारा ब्लड ग्रुप A हो जाएगा. B और IA प्रेजेंट है तब भी यहाँ पे AB होगा तो तब भी तुम्हारा ब्लड ग्रुप AB हो जाएगा. अब B प्रेजेंट है तो B हो जाएगा, और B और स्मॉल आई प्रेजेंट है तो भी B हो जाएगा क्योंकि इसके ऊपर डोमिनेंट है. और अगर स्मॉल आई है और तो ये तो कोई शुगर प्रोड्यूस नहीं है तो तुम्हारा O ब्लड ग्रुप हो जाता है. ठीक है, तुम समझ गए होगे अब तक. चलो, do you realize that example of ABO blood grouping also provides a good example of multiple alleles? Obviously, दो allele आ रहे हैं, एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं खुद को साथ में, तो multiple allelism तो हो ही गया ना. Okay, here you can see that there are more than 2, that is 3 alleles governing the same character. Since in an individual only 2 alleles can be present, multiple alleles can be found only when population studies are made. Occasionally, a single gene product may produce more than one effect. For example, starch synthesis in pea seeds is controlled by one gene. It has 2 alleles, capital B and small b. Starch is synthesized effectively by capital B homozygotes, and therefore large starch grains are produced. In contrast, अगर homozygous recessive हो गए तो lesser efficiency in starch synthesis are produced smaller starch grains. After maturation of seeds, capital B seeds are round and small b seeds are wrinkled. Heterozygotes produce round seed, so B seems to be dominant allele. But the starch grain produced are of intermediate size in BB seeds. ये भी इनकम्प्लीट डोमिनेंस काइंड ऑफ तुम कह सकते हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. तुम्हारा जो हेट्रोजाइगस कंडीशन आ गई यहाँ पे वो भी तुम्हारा इंटरमीडिएट साइज ऑफ ग्रेन प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है. सो इफ स्टार्च ग्रेन साइज इज कंसिडर्ड एज द फेनोटाइप, देन फॉर्म फ्रॉम दिस एंगल द अलील शो इनकम्प्लीट डोमिनेंस. लिखा ही हुआ था. ओके, therefore dominance is not an autonomous feature of a gene or the product that it has information for. It depends as much on the gene product and the production of a particular phenotype from this product as it does not particular phenotype that we choose to examine in case more than one phenotype is influenced by the same gene. Okay, inheritance of two genes. Mendel also worked with and crossed pea plants that differed in two characters, as is seen in the cross between pea plant as has seeds with yellow color round shape and that had seeds of green color and wrinkled shape. Okay. Mendel found that the seed resulting from the crossing of the parent had yellow colored and round shaped seeds. Here can you tell which of the characters in the pairs yellow or green color are round and wrinkled shape was dominant? तुमको पता ही है, तुम अभी एस लेवल पढ़ के आए हो, तो कमेंट करके बताओ कौन कौन से होते हैं डोमिनेंट, कौन से होते हैं इसमें से रिसेसिव. चलो आगे. दस येलो कलर वॉज डोमिनेंट लिखा हुआ है खैर, और ओवर ग्रीन एंड राउंड शेप डोमिनेंट ओवर रिंकल्ड. और मैंने किसके बीच का डिफ्रेंशिएट करने के लिए बोला था? पॉट कलर और सीड कलर के बीच में. पॉट कलर में कौन सा डोमिनेंट था, ग्रीन या येलो? बताओ. चलो ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. These results were identical to those that he got when he made. जब सीड की बात होती है तो येलो डोमिनेंट होता है, और जब पॉट की बात होती है तो ग्रीन डोमिनेंट होता है. ध्यान में रखना तुम, ठीक है. That he got when he made separate monohybrid crosses between yellow and green seeded plants and between round and wrinkled seeded plants. It has used the genotypic symbols Y for the dominant yellow and seed color, small y for the recessive green seed color, R for round shaped seed, and small r for the wrinkled seed shape. The genotype of the parents can then be written as capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital I, Y, and small r, small r, small y, small y. The cross between the two plants can be written down as in figure 4.7, showing the genotype of the parent plants. The gametes Ry and small ry unite on fertilization to produce the F1 hybrid. तुम्हारा हाइब्रिड बन गया यहाँ पे. When Mendel self-hybridized the F1 plant, he found that 3/4 of the F2 plant had yellow seeds and 1/4 had green. The yellow and green color segregated in 3:1 ratio. Round and wrinkled seed shape also segregated in 3:1 ratio, just like in a monohybrid cross. ये तुम्हारा दिया हुआ है क्रॉस कैसे कराता है. इन दोनों का क्रॉस हुआ, ये बना, उसके बाद ये तुम सारे कैरेक्टर्स यहाँ पे लिखोगे, मेल के और फीमेल के, और फिर तुम सबका ऐसे 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 क्रॉस करा दोगे. जैसे तुमने मोनोहाइब्रिड में किया था, एक कैरेक्टर कराते, यहाँ पे दो कैरेक्टर कराओगे, सबका सबसे क्रॉस, और तुम्हारा जो फाइनल आ जाएगा तुम्हारा फिनोटाइप हो जाएगा तुम्हारा 9:3:3:1. ठीक है, ये तुमको ध्यान रखना है. चलो, लॉ ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट असॉर्टमेंट. In a dihybrid cross, जो तुम अभी देख के आए, the phenotypes round yellow, wrinkled yellow, round green and wrinkled green appeared in the ratio 9:3:3:1. Such a ratio was observed for several pairs of cattle that Mendel studied. The ratio of 9:3:3:1 can be derived as a combination series of 3 yellow, 1 green with 3 round and 1 wrinkled seed. Okay, this derivation can be written as follows: 3 round, 1 wrinkled, 3 yellow, 1 green is equal to 9 round yellow, 3 wrinkled yellow, 3 round green and 1 wrinkled green. Based upon such observations on dihybrid crosses between plants differ in true characters. Okay. Mendel proposed a second set of generation that we call Mendel's law of independent assortment. The law states that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair of character is independent of the other pair of the character. Okay. The Punnett square can be effectively used to understand the independent segregation of the two pairs of the genes during meiosis and the production of eggs and pollens in the F1 RRYY plant. Consider the segregation of one pair of gene capital R and small r. 50% of the gametes have the gene capital R and the other 50% have small r. Now, beside each gamete having either capital R or small r, it should also have the allele capital Y or small y. The important things to remember here is the segregation of 50% R and 50% of small r is independent from segregation of 50% of capital Y and 50% of small y. Therefore, 50% of the small r bearing gametes has Y and the other 50. देखो ऐसे बहुत तुमको कन्फ्यूजन है तो मैं बता दे रही हूँ. इसका रुको, इसका 50% इसके 50% से अलग होगा, और इन दोनों का जो 50% है इससे और इसके सेग्रीगेशन से अलग होगा. ये दोनों अपना अलग सेग्रीगेशन कर रहे हैं, ये दोनों अपना अलग, इन दोनों का ये सब आपस में इंडिपेंडेंट है, कोई किसी पे डिपेंडेंट होके सेग्रीगेट नहीं हो रहा है. यही लिखा हुआ है, सब कुछ इतना लिखा हुआ है, अगर तुमको दिक्कत हो रही है समझने में तो ठीक है. Similarly, 50% of the capital R bearing gametes has Y and the other 50% has small y. Thus, there are 4 genotypes of the gamete, 4 types of pollen and 4 types of eggs. The 4 types are capital R Y, capital R small r capital Y, and small r small y. Each with a frequency of 25% of 1/4 of the total gamete produced. When you write down the four types of eggs and pollens on two sides of a Punnett square, it is very easy to derive the composition of the zygote that give rise to the F2 plant. Although there are 16 squares, how many different types of genotypes and phenotypes are formed? Note them down in the format given. ये तुम खुद कर लेना. Can you using the Punnett square data work out the genotypic ratio at the F2 stage and fill in the format given? Genotypic ratio also 9:3:1 कैसा होता है? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता. और क्या होता है वो तुम खुद खोज के लिख देना. ठीक है, चलो. Okay. Chromosomal theory of inheritance. Mendel published his work on inheritance of characters in 1865, but for several reasons it remained unrecognized till 1900. Firstly, communication was not easy as it is now in those days, and his work could not be widely publicized. Secondly, his concept of genes or factors in Mendel's work as stable and discrete unit that controlled the expression of traits and of the pair of alleles which did not blend with each other was not accepted by his contemporaries as an explanation for the apparently continuous variation seen in nature. Thirdly, Mendel's approach of using mathematics to explain biological phenomena was totally new and unacceptable to many of the biologists of his time. Finally, though Mendel's work suggested that the factors, genes, were discrete units, he could not provide any physical proof for the existence of factors or say what they were made of. In 1900, three scientists, De Vries, Correns, and von Teschemark, independently rediscovered Mendel's results on the inheritance of characters. Also, by this time, due to advancement in microscopy and were taking place, scientists were able to carefully observe cell divisions. This led to discovery of structures in the nucleus that appeared to double and divide just before each cell division. They were called chromosomes, colored bodies, as they were visualized by staining. By 1902, the chromosome movement during meiosis had been worked out. Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri noted that the behavior of chromosome was parallel to the behavior of genes and used chromosome movement to explain Mendel's laws. Recall that you have studied the behavior of chromosomes during mitosis. 11th में पढ़ा है ना तुमने सेल में. And during meiosis, reduction division. The important thing to remember are that the chromosomes as well as the genes occur in pairs. The two alleles of a gene pair are located on homologous sites of a homologous chromosome. तुमको दिख रहा है बाइवेलेंट, यहाँ पे भी टेट्राड बन गया. मियोसिस का एनाफेज 1 है, ये एनाफेज 2 है, जहाँ पे सेग्रीगेशन हो जाता है और फिर जर्म सेल्स 4 बन जाते हैं. ठीक है, तुम्हारा नॉर्मल मियोसिस है. चलो, ओके. अ कंपैरिजन बिटवीन द बिहेवियर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स जीन ए और क्या था ये, ओके. क्रोमोसोम और जीन्स कौन दोनों ऑकर इन पेयर्स, दोनों ही होते हैं. ठीक है. सेग्रीगेट एट द टाइम ऑफ गैमीट फॉर्मेशन सच दैट ओनली वन ऑफ ईच पेयर इज ट्रांसमिटेड टू अ गैमीट. और इसमें क्या लिखा है? सेग्रीगेट एट गैमीट फॉर्मेशन ओनली वन ऑफ ईच पेयर इज ट्रांसमिटेड टू अ गैमीट. ओके. इंडिपेंडेंट पेयर्स सेग्रीगेट इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ ईच अदर. और यहाँ पे वन पेयर सेग्रीगेट्स इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑफ अनदर पेयर. यहाँ से आपको मेजर डिफरेंस देखिएगा क्या लिखा हुआ है. ये आपका जीन है और ये आपका क्रोमोसोम है. दिस इज योर जीन, दिस इज योर क्रोमोसोम. कैसे डिफरेंस हुआ देखो. इंडिपेंडेंट पेयर्स सेग्रीगेट हो रहे हैं और वो एक दूसरे के इंडिपेंडेंट है. यहाँ पे तुम्हारे एक पेयर के सेग्रीगेशन की बात हो रही है दूसरे पेयर की कंपैरिजन में. अभी तुमने यहीं पे पढ़ा है जीन का, वो कहाँ गया, यहीं पढ़ा है तुमने. ये जो तुम पढ़ रहे थे यही तुमने पढ़ा है कि जीन यहाँ पे कैसे सेग्रीगेट होता है इंडिपेंडेंटली फ्रॉम ईच अदर. ठीक है. दिस इज योर जीन एंड दिस इज योर क्रोमोसोम. Let's move ahead. During anaphase of meiosis 1, the two chromosomes pairs can align at the metaphase plate independently of each other. To understand this, the compare of the chromosome of 4 different color in the left and right columns. In the left column, possibility 1, orange and green is segregating together, but in the right hand column, the orange chromosome is segregating with the red chromosome. देखो इंडिपेंडेंट असॉर्टमेंट कैसे हुई है तुम देख लेना ये. चलो. Sutton and Boveri argued that the pairing of separation of pair of chromosome would lead to the segregation of a pair of factors they carried. Sutton united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principle and called it chromosomal theory of inheritance. अब पूछेगा chromosomal theory of inheritance किसने दिया, तो मेनली किसने दिया, सटन ने दिया. इसने इन दोनों को यूनाइट करके दिया था. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. फॉलोइंग द सिंथेसिस ऑफ आइडियाज, एक्सपेरिमेंटल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ क्रोमोसोमल थ्योरी ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस बाय थॉमस एंड मॉर्गन. ये आपका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट PYQ है, 2020 में आया था ये. ठीक है, कि एक्सपेरिमेंटल वेरिफिकेशन किसने दिया था, तो थॉमस एंड मॉर्गन ने दिया था. एंड हिज कलीग्स led to discovering the basis for the variation that sexual reproduction produced. Morgan worked with the tiny fruit flies, Drosophila, which were found very suitable for such studies. They could be grown on simple synthetic medium in laboratory. They complete their life cycle in 2 hafta, and a single mating could produce a large number of progeny flies. Also, there was a clear differentiation of the sexes. The male and the female flies are easily distinguishable. Also, it has many types of hereditary variation that can be seen with low power microscopes. तो क्यों इनको प्रेफर किया गया, इसके रीजंस दिए हुए हैं, और ये रीजंस को तुम लाइन बाय लाइन ध्यान रखना. तो ये भी एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होकर सीधा था, ये कौन सा रीजन इसमें से नहीं था, ये कौन सा ज़्यादा था, कौन सा क्या था. ठीक है, चलो आगे चलते हैं लिंकेज एंड रिकॉम्बिनेशन पे. Morgan carried out several dihybrid crosses in Drosophila to study genes that were sex-linked. The crosses were similar to dihybrid cross carried out by Mendel and Pease. For example, Morgan hybridized yellow-bodied, white-eyed females to brown-bodied, red-eyed males and intercrossed their F1 progeny. He observed that the two genes did not segregate independently of each other, and the F2 ratio deviated very significantly from 9331 ratio. Morgan and his group knew that the genes were located on X chromosome, and saw quickly that when the two genes in a dihybrid cross were situated on the same chromosome, the proportion of parental gene combination were much higher than the non-parental type. Morgan attributed this due to the physical association or linkage of the two genes and coined the term linkage to describe the physical association of genes on a chromosome, and the term recombination to describe the generation of non-parental gene combinations. Morgan and his group also found that even when genes were grouped on the same chromosome, some genes were very tightly linked, showed very low recombination. तुमको आगे डायग्राम में दिया है, क्रॉस पे जो लिखा हुआ है, while others were loosely linked. For example, he found that the genes white and yellow were tightly linked and showed only 1.3% recombination, while white and miniature wing showed 37.2% recombination. ये सब आपको ध्यान में रखना है. His student Alfred Stroeter used the frequency of recombination between the gene pairs on the same chromosome as a measure of the distance between genes and mapped their positions on the chromosome. Today, genetic maps are extensively used as starting point in the sequencing of whole genome, as was done in the case of Human Genome Sequencing Project described later. देखो क्रॉस है, जहाँ पे तुम्हारा पेरेंटल देखोगे तो तुम्हारा कितना पास पास सिचुएटेड है. ठीक है, F1 जनरेशन में भी तुम देखे पास पास है. जो तुम्हारा फाइनल जो आया F2, उसमें तुम क्या आया, देखो तुम्हारा जो पेरेंटल जनरेशन जैसे तुम्हारा फादर मदर में दिखाई दे रहा था, वही यहाँ पे बन के आया है. ठीक है, और ये जो तुम्हारा रिकॉम्बिनेंट टाइप है, ये बहुत एक ही में आया है, बहुत ही कम, बहुत ज़्यादा, इसलिए 1.3 है. बाकी जो सब मेजोरिटी 98 पॉइंट्स में तुम्हारा पेरेंटल टाइप है. ठीक है, ये और ये तुम दोनों मिला के देख लो. और फिर क्रॉस बी में देखो ये और बहुत दूर है, ये भी दूर दूर सिचुएटेड है. फिर उसके बाद से क्रॉस हुआ, फिर जो फाइनल क्रॉस हुआ इसमें भी देखो इसके जैसा बाकी बना, लेकिन थोड़ा कम कम बना. तो इसलिए इसमें जो रिकॉम्बिनेशन है वो 37.2 हो गया, और जो पेरेंटल तुम्हारा 62.8 हो गया. तुम ध्यान से एक और बार इसको देख लेना. पॉलीजेनिक इनहेरिटेंस. Mendel's studies mainly describe those traits that have distinct alternate forms, such as flower color, which are either purple or white. But if you look around, you will find that there are many traits which are not so distinct in their occurrence and are spread across a gradient. For example, in humans, we don't just have tall or short people are two distinct alternatives, but a whole range of possible heights. Such traits are generally controlled by 3 और मोर जीन्स एंड अदर्स कॉल्ड पॉलीजेनिक ट्रेट्स. तो पॉलीजेनिक ट्रेट्स की डेफिनेशन आपको मिल गई कि जो एक 3 या 3 से ज़्यादा जीन कंट्रोल करती है कोई एक कैरेक्टर को, तो हम उसको पॉलीजेनिक ट्रेट कहते हैं. ठीक है, Beside the involvement of multiple gene, polygenic inheritance also takes into account the influence of environment. Human skin color is another classic example for this. तो polygenic inheritance का example क्या हुआ आपका, जो हमारा skin color होता है, that is a polygenic inheritance example. In the polygenic trait, the phenotype reflects the contribution of each allele, that is, the effect of each allele is additive. To understand this better, let us assume that three genes A, B, C control skin color in human, with the dominant forms capital A, capital B, and capital C responsible for the dark skin color, and the recessive forms of ESA for light skin color. The genotype with all the dominant alleles will have the darkest skin color, that with all the recessive alleles will have the lightest skin color. As expected, the genotype with three dominant alleles and three recessive alleles will have an intermediate skin color. In this manner, the number of each type of allele in genotype would determine the darkness or the lightness of the skin in an individual. Pleiotropy. We have so far seen the effect of a gene on a single phenotype or trait. There are, however, instances where a single gene can exhibit multiple phenotypic expressions. Such a gene is called pleiotropic gene. The underlying mechanism of a pleiotropic is most cases is the effect of a gene on a metabolic pathway which contribute towards different phenotypes. An example of this is the disease phenylketonuria, which occurs in humans. The disease is caused by mutation in the gene that codes for the enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase, single gene mutation. This manifests itself through phenotypic expression characterized by a mental retardation and a reduction in hair and skin pigmentation. तो एक साथ में ये बहुत सारे जीन और कैरेक्टर्स को कंट्रोल कर रहा है, उसको हम प्लेयोट्रोपिक जीन कहते हैं, प्लेयोट्रोपिक ट्रेट कहते हैं. ठीक है, चलो आगे. Sex determination. The mechanism of sex determination has always been a puzzle before the geneticist. The initial clue about the genetic chromosomal mechanism of sex determination can be traced back to some of the experiment characters carried out in insects. In fact, the cytological observations made in a number of insects led to the development of the concept of genetic chromosomal basis of sex determination. Henking, in 1891, could trace a specific nuclear structure all through spermatogenesis in a few insects, and it was also observed by him that 50% of the sperm received of the structure after spermatogenesis, whereas the 50% sperm did not receive it. Henking gave a name to this structure as the X body, but he could not explain its significance. Further investigations by other scientists led to the conclusion that X body of Henking was in fact a chromosome, and that is why it was given the name X chromosome. It was also observed that in a large number of insects, the mechanism of sex determination is of the exotype, that is, all X bear an additional X chromosome besides the other chromosome, yani ki autosomes. On the other hand, some of the sperms bear X chromosome, whereas some do not. Eggs fertilized by the sperm having X chromosome became females, and those fertilized by sperms that do not have an X chromosome become males. Do you think the number of chromosomes in the male and female are equal? Due to the involvement of X chromosome in the determination of sex, it was designated to be the sex chromosome, and the rest of the chromosome were named autosomes. Grasshopper is an example of exotype of sex determination in which the males have only one X chromosome besides the autosomes, whereas the females have a pair of X chromosomes. यहाँ तुम देख सकते हो, इसमें तो दिया ही नहीं है, सॉरी. Okay. These observations led to the investigations of the number of species to understand the mechanism of sex determination. In a number of the other insects and mammals, including man, XY type of sex determination is seen where both male and female have same number of chromosomes. Among the male, an X chromosome is present, but its counterpart is distinctly smaller and called Y chromosome. Female, however, a pair of X chromosomes. Both males and females have same number of autosomes. Hence, the males have autosomes plus XY, while females have an autosome plus XX. In human beings and in Drosophila, the male have one X and one Y chromosome, whereas females have one pair of X chromosomes beside autosomes. In the above description, you have studied about two types of sex determination mechanism, that is exotype and XY type. But in both cases, males produce two different types of gametes, that is either with or without X chromosome, or some gametes with X chromosome and some with Y chromosome. Such type of sex determination mechanism is designated to be the example of male heterogamety. In some other example, birds, a different mechanism of sex determination is observed. In this case, the total number of chromosomes is same in both males and females, but two different types of gametes in terms of sex chromosomes are produced by the females. यहाँ पे फीमेल हेट्रोगैमेटी देखने को मिलती है. आपने अभी जो देखा ड्रोसोफिला में या हमारे ह्यूमंस में या कुछ इंसेक्ट्स में, उनको उसमें आपको मेल हेट्रोगैमेटी मिल रही थी, जहाँ पे मेल जो टाइप के स्पर्म्स प्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे. लेकिन बर्ड्स में आपको फीमेल हेट्रोगैमेटी दिखती है, जहाँ पे फीमेल्स के पास एक मतलब हेट्रोगैमेट्स होते हैं और मेल के पास जो होता है वो होमोगैमेट्स होते हैं. ठीक है, यानी कि उनके पास एक पेयर ऑफ जेड क्रोमोसोम्स होंगे, बल्कि फीमेल के पास एक जेड और जेड डब्ल्यू होगा। ठीक है, in order to have a distinction with the mechanism of determination described earlier, the two different sex chromosomes of a female bird has been designated to be the Z and W chromosomes. In these organisms, the females have one Z and one W chromosomes, whereas males have a pair of Z chromosome besides the autosomes. Sex determination in humans. It has already been mentioned that the sex determining mechanism in case of humans is XY type. Out of 23 pairs of chromosomes present, 22 pairs are exactly same in both males and females. These are autosomes. A pair of X chromosome are present in female, whereas the presence of an X and Y chromosome are determinant of the male characteristic. During spermatogenesis among males, two types of gametes are produced. 50% of total sperm produce the X chromosome and the rest 50% Y chromosome beside the autosome. Female, however, produce only one type of ovum with an X chromosome. There is an equal probability of fertilization of ovum with the sperm carrying either X or Y chromosome. In case the ovum fertilizes with a sperm carrying X chromosome, the zygote develops into a female, यानी कि XX, and the fertilization of ovum with the Y chromosome carrying sperm results in the male offspring. Thus, it is evident that it is the genetic makeup of the sperm that determines the sex of the child. It is also evident that in each pregnancy, there is always 50% probability of either a male or a female child. It is unfortunate that in our society, women are blamed for giving birth to female children and have been ostracized and ill-treated because of this false notion. Okay. Sex determination in honeybee. The sex determination in honeybee is based on the number of sets of chromosomes an individual receives. An offspring formed from the union of a sperm and egg develops as a female, queen or worker, and an unfertilized egg develops as a male or drone by means of parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis क्या होता है? आप डेफिनेशन रिकॉल करने की कोशिश करो. पार्थेनोजेनेसिस में आपका विदाउट फर्टिलाइजेशन आपका ऑर्गेनिज्म फॉर्म होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड पार्थेनोजेनेसिस. ठीक है, उसमें आपकी फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं होती है. ठीक है, दिस मीन्स दैट मेल्स हैव द हाफ द नंबर ऑफ द क्रोमोसोम्स दैन दैट ऑफ द फीमेल. Okay. The females are diploid having 32 chromosomes and males are haploid having 16 chromosomes. This is called as haplodiploid sex determination system and has a special characteristic feature such as the males produce sperms by mitosis. They do not have father and thus cannot have sons, but have a grandfather and can have grandsons. Okay, how is the sex determination mechanism different in the birds? Is the sperm or the egg responsible for the sex of the chicks? ये तुम खुद बताओगे. चलो तुम पढ़ लियो क्योंकि mutation. Mutation is a phenomenon which results in the alteration of DNA sequences and consequently results in changes in the genotype and the phenotype of an organism. In addition to recombination, mutation is another phenomenon that leads to variation in DNA. As we will learn in chapter 5, one DNA helix runs continuously from one end to the other in each chromatid in a highly supercoiled form. Therefore, loss or gain, insertion, or duplication of a segment of a DNA result in alteration in chromosomes. Since genes are known to be located on chromosomes, alteration in chromosomes results in abnormalities or aberrations. Chromosomal aberrations are commonly observed in cancer cells. In addition to the above, mutation also arises due to the change in single base pair of DNA. This is known as point mutation. A classic example of such mutation is sickle cell anemia. Deletion and insertion of base pairs of DNA causes frame shift mutation. The mechanism of mutation is beyond the scope of this discussion at this level. However, there are many chemical and physical factors that induce mutation. They are referred as mutagens. UV radiations can cause mutations in organism. It is a mutagen. ठीक है. अच्छा ये बताओ यूवी रेज आयोनाइजेबल होती है कि नॉन आयोनाइजेबल रेडिएशंस होती हैं? ये भी तुम्हारे आगे चैप्टर में तुम पढ़ोगे. चलो नॉन आयोनाइजेबल होती हैं वैसे. चलो जेनेटिक डिसऑर्डर्स. फर्स्ट, पेडिग्री एनालिसिस. द आइडिया दैट डिसऑर्डर्स आर इनहेरिटेड. यार मैंने तुम्हें ये नहीं बताना, रुको तुम ये देख लो, ये साइंस देख लो तुम. जैसे तुम्हारी पेडिग्री एनालिसिस होती है, अगर एक बस स्क्वायर बॉक्स है तो वो मेल होता है, सर्कल होती है तो फीमेल होता है, ऐसे डायमंड बना लेते हैं तो सेक्स अनस्पेसिफाइड होता है, और अगर उसमें रंग देंगे तो वो अनअफेक्टेड इंडिविजुअल हो जाएगा. एक लाइन है तो मेटिंग होती है, डबल लाइन है तो कंसेंगिनस मैरिज होती है, यानी कि जो रिलेटिव्स के बीच में शादी करा देते हैं आपस में ही, उनको ये होता है वो. ठीक है, फिर ये तुम्हारा ऑफस्प्रिंग दिखाते हैं ऐसे, और जो ये है तुम्हारा ये पहला बच्चा होगा, जो तुम्हारा ये तुम्हारा दूसरा बच्चा होगा. उल्टा सीधा कहीं से भी नहीं गिन सकते हो. फर्स्ट चाइल्ड, सेकंड चाइल्ड, थर्ड चाइल्ड, ऐसे होता है लेफ्ट टू राइट. ठीक है, और ये तुम्हारा होता है पेरेंट्स विद द मेल चाइल्ड अफेक्टेड विद द डिजीज़, मतलब यहाँ पे पेरेंट्स नॉर्मल है लेकिन जो बच्चा है भाई उसको डिजीज़ है, और ये मतलब होता है 5 अनअफेक्टेड ऑफ स्प्रिंग्स। ठीक, चलो। The idea that disorders are inherited has been prevailing in the human society since long. This was based on the heritability of certain characteristic features in families. After the rediscovery of Mendel's work, the practice of analyzing inheritance pattern of the traits in human beings began. Since it is evident that controls processes that can be performed in a pea plant or some other organisms are not possible in case of human beings, study of the family history about inheritance of a particular trait provides an alternative. Such analysis of traits in several of generations of a family is called the pedigree analysis. In the pedigree analysis, the inheritance of a particular trait is represented in the family in tree over generations. In human genetics, pedigree study provides a strong tool which is utilized to trace the inheritance of specific trait, abnormality, or disease. Some of the important standard symbols used in the pedigree analysis have been shown in figure 4.13, जो कि यही था, हम देख चुके हैं. As we have studied in this chapter, each and every feature in an organism is controlled by one or the other gene located on the DNA present in the chromosome. DNA is the carrier of the genetic information. It is hence transmitted from one generation to the other without any change or alteration. However, changes or alteration do take place occasionally. Such an alteration or change in the genetic material is referred to as mutation. A number of disorders in human beings have been found to be associated with the inheritance of changed or altered genes or chromosomes. 4.8.2 Mendelian disorders. Broadly, genetic disorders may be grouped into two categories: Mendelian disorders or chromosomal disorders. Mendelian disorders are mainly determined by the alteration or mutation in single gene. These disorders are transmitted to the offspring on the same lines as we have studied in the principle of inheritance. The pattern of inheritance of such Mendelian disorders can be traced in family by pedigree analysis. Most common prevalent Mendelian disorders are hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, color blindness, phenylketonuria, thalassemia, etc. It is important to mention here that such Mendelian disorders may be dominant or recessive. By pedigree analysis, one can easily understand whether the trait in question is dominant or recessive. Similarly, the trait may be also linked to sex chromosome, as in case of hemophilia. It is evident that this X-linked recessive trait shows transmission from carrier female to male progeny. A representative pedigree is shown in 4.14 for dominant and recessive traits. Discuss with your teacher and design a pedigree for characters linked to the both autosomes and sex chromosome. आओ ये वाली पढ़ते हैं. देखो कैसे पढ़ेंगे हम पेडिग्री की एनालिसिस कैसे करेंगे. देखो फर्स्ट जनरेशन जो पेरेंट्स में है फीमेल अफेक्टेड है, ठीक है. अगली जनरेशन में मेल भी अफेक्टेड है, फीमेल भी अफेक्टेड है. अगर ये सिर्फ सेक्स लिंक्ड होता तो सब अफेक्ट हो जाते, एक भी नहीं बचता, क्योंकि फीमेल के पास तो एक्स है, सब सारे ही अफेक्ट हो जाते, मेल्स भी अफेक्ट हो जाते, फीमेल्स. लेकिन अगर रिसेसिव और ये डोमिनेंट होगा ना, इसका दोनों एक्स, मतलब कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे. लेकिन क्योंकि हर जनरेशन में जा रहा है, इस जनरेशन में भी आ रहा है, फर्स्ट जनरेशन पेरेंट्स में भी था, फर्स्ट जनरेशन में भी है, सेकंड जनरेशन में भी है. ये इनका सेकंड जनरेशन ही तो है ना, ये मैं समझ लें इसके नीचे बनना तो थर्ड जनरेशन है. ये एरो तो ये लाइन तो यहीं से आ रही है ना, तो ये तो तुम्हारा डोमिनेंट हो गया. अब सेक्स लिंक्ड है कि ऑटोसोमल है, तुम कैसे पता करोगे. अगर कहीं से एक ही जगह पे ट्रांसफ़र हो रहा होता, चलो मैं इसको मिटा देती हूँ, बहुत ज़्यादा मैसी हो गया. आप देखो फीमेल है, फीमेल से या तो सिर्फ मेल्स अफेक्ट हो रहे होते तो भी ये सिर्फ एक्स लिंक्ड हो जाता, ठीक है, एक्स लिंक्ड रिसेसिव हो जाता था, क्या कहते हैं. और अगर मेल्स और फीमेल्स दोनों रिसेसिव हो जाते, दोनों सब के सब हो जाते, तो ये डोमिनेंट हो जाता. अब डोमिनेंट तो है क्योंकि सारे ही फैमिलीज़ में प्रेजेंट है, ठीक है. फर्स्ट फिलियर जनरेशन में भी है, सेकेंड जनरेशन में भी है, पेरेंट्स में भी है, तो डोमिनेंट है. लेकिन यहाँ पे सिर्फ मेल और फीमेल, यहाँ पे सेक्स लिंक नहीं है, ये पता चल रहा है. वरना सिर्फ एक सेक्स तुम्हारा जो होता है वो तुम्हारा वो होता अफेक्टेड होता, क्योंकि देखो ये नॉर्मल है, इनके सब बच्चे नॉर्मल हो गए. अगर लिंक्ड होता तो फिर तो सब किसी ना किसी में आ ही जाता वो, ठीक है. अब यहाँ के फीमेल से यहाँ के फीमेल में आ गया, तो यानी कि ऑटोसोमल है, ऑटोसोमल डोमिनेंट रेट है. देखते हैं क्या लिखा हुआ है. रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पेडिग्री एनालिसिस ऑफ ऑटोसोमल डोमिनेंट रेट. फॉर एग्जांपल ये किसका, मायोटोनिक डिस्ट्रॉफी का है ये. अब देखो इसमें पेरेंट्स तुम्हारे जो हैं अफेक्टेड ही नहीं है, तो इसको तो रिसेसिव होना चाहिए, ठीक है. एक जनरेशन स्किप होगी, जनरेशन स्किप यानी कि रिसेसिव होगा ट्रेट, ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे एक मेल भी अफेक्टेड है, एक फीमेल भी अफेक्टेड है, और ये नॉर्मल पेरेंट्स का एक बच्चा अफेक्टेड है, तो ये तो इसी से देख के लग रहा है स्किपिंग ऑफ जनरेशन चल रही है, इसका मतलब ये रिसेसिव है, और मेल और फीमेल सब इफेक्ट हो रहा है, इसका मतलब ये ऑटोसोमल। तो ये तुम्हारा ऑटोसोमल रिसेसिव हो गया। देखो लिखा भी हुआ है ऑटोसोमल रिसेसिव ट्रेट फॉर सिकल सेल एनीमिया। ठीक है, चलो color blindness. It is a sex-linked recessive disorder due to defect in either red or green cone of eye resulting in failure to discriminate between red and green color. This defect is due to mutation in certain genes present in the X chromosome. It occurs in about 8% of males and only about 0.4% of females. देखिए फीमेल्स में एकदम ना के बराबर है, बहुत ही कम है, और मेल्स में ज़्यादा है, 8% है। ठीक है, दिस इज बिकॉज द जीन्स दैट लीड टू द रेड ग्रीन कलर ब्लाइंडनेस आर ऑन द X chromosome. Males have only one X chromosome and females have two. The son of a woman who carries the gene has a 50% chance of being colorblind. The mother is not herself colorblind, but because the gene is recessive, that means that its effect is suppressed by her matching dominant normal gene. A daughter will not normally be colorblind unless her mother is a carrier and her father is colorblind. डॉटर में अगर कोई तुम्हारा एक्स लिंक्ड डिजीज़ दिखाना है, देखो कैरियर तो आसानी से हो जाएगी, अगर चाहे मम्मी मतलब कैरियर हो गई तो डॉटर भी कैरियर हो सकती है, नहीं भी हो सकती है। या तुम्हारी मम्मी अफेक्टेड हो गई तो भी डॉटर कैरियर हो सकती है, अफेक्टेड हो गई तो डॉटर तो कैरियर हो जाएगी, लेकिन अफेक्ट नहीं होगी। अफेक्ट तब होगी जब मम्मी भी कैरियर हो, कम से कम मिनिमम, और तुम्हारे फादर तो अफेक्टेड हो, तभी दोनों का एक्स लगेगा, तभी तो तुम्हारा डोमिनेटिंग कैरेक्टर शो होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा। समझ रहे हो मेरी बात? चलो हम डिटेल डिस्कशन तो बाद में कर लेंगे, अभी तो मैंने एनसीईआरटी की रीडिंग लगा रहे तो वो हम खत्म करते हैं। हेमोफीलिया, this is also sex-linked recessive disease which shows its transmission from unaffected carrier female to some of the male progeny has been widely studied. In this disease, a single protein that is a part of the cascade of protein involved in clotting of blood is affected. Due to this, in an affected individual, a simple cut will result into non-stop bleeding. The heterozygous female जो carrier है for hemophilia may transmit the disease to sons. The possibility of female becoming a hemophile extremely rare because the mother of such female has to be at least carrier and the father should be hemophilic. Unviable in the later stage of life. The family pedigree of Queen Victoria shows a number of hemophilic descendants as she was a carrier of the disease. Sickle cell anemia. This is an autosome-linked recessive trait that can be transmitted from parents to offspring when both the partners are carrier of the gene. The disease is controlled by a single pair of allele, यानी कि HP and HPS. Out of the three possible genotype, only the homozygous individuals for HPS show the disease phenotype. Heterozygous individuals appear apparently unaffected, but they are carrier of the disease as there is 50% probability of transmission of a mutant gene to the progeny, thus exhibiting sickle cell trait. देखो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है तुमको, ये नॉर्मल जीन है, ये सिकल सेल शेप्ड हो गया। अभी तुम्हारा सिंगल जो जीन अफेक्ट होता है उसकी वजह से म्यूटेशन है तुम्हारा। देखो नॉर्मल जीन में तुम्हारा कोड क्या होता है, GAG, और से वो होता है CTC, और इसमें तुम्हारा GTG हो गया, तो यहाँ पे CAC हो गया। अब CAC का जब होगा तो mRNA में A की कोडिंग में U आ जाएगा, और ये तो T से GAG हो रहा था, नॉर्मल में GAG आता है, और mRNA यहाँ पे जो सिकल सेल में GOG हो गया, तो ये ग्लूटामिक एसिड कोड करता है नॉर्मल में, और यहाँ पे जो हो गया चेंज हो गया, ये वैलिन हो गया, यानी कि चेंज कहाँ पे हुआ, तुम्हारा 6th पोजीशन पे वैलिन रिप्ले आ गया ग्लूटामिक एसिड की जगह पे। ठीक है, तो वही बोलता है ये, देखो द डिफेक्ट इज कॉज्ड बाय द सब्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ ग्लूटामिक एसिड बाय वैलिन एट द 6th पोजीशन ऑफ द बीटा ग्लोबिन चेन ऑफ द हीमोग्लोबिन मॉलिक्यूल। ठीक है, the substitution of amino acid in the globin protein results to a single base substitution at the 6th codon of the beta globin gene from the GAG to GOG. The mutant hemoglobin molecule undergoes polymerization under low oxygen tension, causing a change in the shape of the RBC from biconcave disc to elongated sickle cell structure. तो मैं तुम्हें दिखा दिया। Okay, phenylketonuria. This inborn error of metabolism is also inherited as the autosomal recessive trait. The affected individual lacks an enzyme that converts the amino acid phenylalanine into tyrosine. As a result, this phenylalanine is accumulated and converted into phenylpyruvic acid and other derivatives. Accumulation of these in brain results in mental retardation. These are also excreted through the urine because of its poor absorption by the thalassemia. This is also an autosome linked recessive blood disease transmitted from parents to offspring when both the partners are unaffected carrier for the gene or heterozygotes. ठीक है. The defect could be due to either mutation or deletion which ultimately results in reduced rate of synthesis of one of the globin chain अल्फा एंड बीटा चेन्स दैट मेक अप हीमोग्लोबिन. डिफरेंस पूछता है कि थैलासीमिया और आपका जो सिकल सेल अनीमिया था उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है, तो क्वांटिटेटिव डिफरेंस आता है. ठीक है, थैलासीमिया में क्वांटिटेटिव डिफरेंस है, कम प्रोडक्शन होती है, जबकि वहाँ पे तुम्हारा म्यूटेशन हो के ग्लूटामिक एसिड की जगह पे वेलिन का प्रोडक्शन रहता है. आपको ये चीज़ का ध्यान रखना है कि एमसीक्यूज में ऐसे ही फ्रेम होते हैं क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. This causes the formation of abnormal hemoglobin molecules resulting into anemia, which is characteristic of the disease. Thalassemia can be classified according to which chain of the hemoglobin molecules is affected. In alpha thalassemia, production of alpha globin chain is affected, while in beta thalassemia, production of beta globin chain is affected. Alpha thalassemia is controlled by two closely linked genes HBA1 and HBA2 on chromosome 16 of each parent, and it is observed due to the mutation or deletion of one or more of the four genes. The more genes affected, the less alpha globin molecules are produced. While beta thalassemia is controlled by a single gene HBB on chromosome 11 of each parent and occurs due to mutation of one or both the genes. Thalassemia differs from sickle cell anemia in that the former is a quantitative problem of synthesizing too few globin molecules, while the latter is a qualitative problem of synthesizing an incorrectly functional globin. Chromosomal disorders. The chromosomal disorders, on the other hand, are caused due to the absence or excess or abnormal arrangement of one or more chromosomes. Failure of segregation of chromatids during the cell division cycle results in the gain or loss of chromosome called aneuploidy. For example, Down syndrome results in the gain of an extra copy of chromosome 21. Similarly, Turner syndrome results due to loss of an X chromosome in human females. Failure of cytokinesis after telophase stage of cell division results in an increase in a whole set of chromosomes in an organism, and this phenomenon is known as polyploidy. This condition is often seen in plants. The total number of chromosomes in normal human cells is 46, यानी कि 23 pairs. Out of these, 22 pairs are autosomes and one pair of chromosomes are sex chromosomes. Sometimes, though rarely, either an additional copy of chromosome may be included in an individual, or an individual may lack one pair of chromosomes. These situations are known as trisomy or monosomy of a chromosome respectively. Such a situation leads to very serious consequences in individual. Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome are common examples of the chromosomal disorders. Down syndrome. The cause of the genetic disorder is the presence of an additional copy of the chromosome number 21, यानी कि trisomy of 21. This disorder was first described by Langdon Down in 1866. The affected individual is a short-statured with small round head, furrowed tongue, and partially open mouth. Palm is broad with characteristic palm crease. Physical, psychomotor, and mental development is retarded. Klinefelter syndrome. This genetic disorder is also caused with the presence of an additional copy of X chromosome, resulting in a karyotype of 47 in XXY. Such an individual has overall masculine development. However, the feminine development is also expressed. ठीक है, यानी कि डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ब्रेस्ट यानी कि गायनेकोमास्टिया होता है. Such individuals are sterile. Turner syndrome. Such a disorder is caused with the absence of the one of the chromosomes, X chromosome, that is 45 with XO. Such females are sterile as ovaries are rudimentary beside the features, including lack of other secondary sexual characteristics. यहाँ पे आपका चैप्टर खत्म हो गया. ये आपको दिख रहा है जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव फिगर शोइंग इंडिविजुअल इन्फ्लिक्टेड विद द डाउन सिंड्रोम एंड द कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग. यहाँ पे देखो क्रोमोसोम 21 जो होगा 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21. यहाँ पे देखो ये रहा 21 तुम्हारा. यहाँ पे 3 3 है यानी कि ट्राइसोमी हो रखी है. देखो फ्लैट बैक ऑफ हेड, ब्रॉड फ्लैट फेस दिख रहा है, इसका बिग एंड रिंकल्ड टंग दिख रहा है. इसका कंजेनाइटल हार्ट डिजीज़ भी होने के बहुत ज़्यादा वो होता ही है, मतलब मेनी लूप्स ऑन द फिंगर्स एंड पाम क्रीज. ठीक है, कैरेक्टर्स हैं. यहाँ पे जो कुछ कैरेक्टर्स लिखे हैं वहाँ जो मेंशन नहीं थे, कंजेनाइटल हार्ट डिजीज़, बिग एंड रिंकल्ड टंग, ये सब भी तुम ध्यान में रखना है. सारे डाउन सिंड्रोम के कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं. ठीक है, ये हो गया तुम्हारा गायनेकोमास्टिया जो तुम यहाँ पे देख रहे हो. ठीक है, पहला वाला तुम्हारा क्लिनफिल्टर सिंड्रोम है और दूसरा तुम्हारा टर्नर सिंड्रोम है. ठीक है, चलो लेट्स गो टू द समरी एंडिंग पार्ट. Genetics is a branch of biology which deals with the principle of inheritance and its practices. Progeny resembling the parents in morphological and physiological features has attracted the attention of many biologists. Mendel was the first to study this phenomena systematically. While studying the pattern of inheritance in pea plants of contrasting characters, Mendel proposed the principle of inheritance, which are today referred as Mendel's laws of inheritance. He proposed that the factors, later named as genes regulating the characters, are found in pairs known as alleles. He observed that the expression of the generation characters in the offspring follow a definite pattern in different first generation, second, and so on. Some characters are dominant over others. Dominant characters are expressed when factors in heterozygous condition, यानी कि law of dominance. The recessive characters are only expressed in homozygous condition. The characters never blend in heterozygous condition. A recessive character that was not expressed in heterozygous condition may be expressed again when it becomes homozygous. Hence, characters segregate while formation of gametes, यानी कि law of segregation. Not all characters show true dominance. Some characters show incomplete, and some show codominance. When Mendel studied the inheritance of two characters together, it was found that the factors independently assort and combine in all permutation and combination, a law of independent assortment. Different combinations of gametes are theoretically represented in a square tabular form known as Punnett square. The factor, now known as gene, on chromosomes regulating the characters are called genotype, and the physical expression of the characters is called phenotype. After knowing the genes are located on chromosomes, a good correlation was drawn between Mendel's laws segregation and assortment of chromosomes during meiosis. The Mendel's laws were extended in the form of chromosomal theory of inheritance. Later, it was found that the Mendel's law of independent assortment does not hold true for the genes that were located on the same chromosome. क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ पे लिंकेज हो जाता है. ठीक है. These genes were called as the linked genes. Closely located genes assorted together and distantly located genes due to recombination assorted independently. Linkage maps therefore corresponded to arrangement of genes on a chromosome. Many genes were linked to sexes also and called as sex-linked genes. These two sexes, male and female, were found to have a set of chromosomes which were common and another set which was different. The chromosomes which were different in two sexes were named as sex chromosomes. The remaining set was named as autosomes. In humans, normal female has 22 pairs of sets of autosomes and a pair of sex chromosomes in XX. Male has 22 pair of autosomes and a pair of sex chromosomes as XY. In chicken, the sex chromosome in male are ZZ and female in ZW. Mutation is defined as a change in genetic material. A point mutation is a change of single base pair in DNA. Sickle cell anemia is caused due to change of one base in the genetic gene coding for beta chain of hemoglobin. Inheritance mutation can be studied by generations in generating a pedigree of a family. Some mutations involve changes in whole set of chromosomes, that is polyploidy, or change in a subset of chromosomes number aneuploidy. This helped in understanding the mutation basis of genetic disorder. Down syndrome is due to trisomy of chromosome 21, where there is an extra copy of chromosome 21 and consequently the total number of chromosomes becoming 47. In Turner syndrome, one X chromosome is missing and the sex chromosome is XO. And in the Klinefelter syndrome, the condition is XXY. These can be easily studied by analysis of karyotypes. यहाँ पे आपका चैप्टर समाप्त हुआ. मिलेंगे अगले चैप्टर में. मैं कोशिश करूँगी इसको पार्ट 2 में डाल दूँ क्योंकि एक साथ ही बहुत लंबा चैप्टर हो जाता है. और तुम प्लीज़ एनसीईआरटी को ध्यान से पढ़ते रहना और जो भी चीज़ें मैंने बोली उनको ध्यान में रखना क्योंकि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. और आता तो सब कुछ एनसीईआरटी से, तो तुम्हें अच्छे से ध्यान रखना है इसका. चलो ओके, ऑल द बेस्ट, पढ़ते रहो. कीप हसलिंग. बाय बाय.